Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our last game of the day. Team Sword versus Pentakill Teemo, please. I'm Raptero, joined again by the ever-awesome Auntie.
Hello.
Excited for this one, Auntie?
This will be really interesting. Now, from what I understand, Team Sword aren't running Elk Milk, who's been instrumental in their games. So it'll be interesting to see if things change around a lot. I'm kind of wondering to see how things go.
Yeah, Triple X Cam, we haven't seen him play yet, so we'll have to see how they do. Could be, who knows? It could be just Elk Milk's evil twin, but plays just like him.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find another jungler willing to run in that much.
Instead, he only plays champions that aren't named that. Well, I guess it'd be hard. There's no champion named Cam, but Camille. You can play Camille. Anyways,
would be whack.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen that. But we're already through the first bans, and already a really fast start to the picks with a Thresh coming out right away. Support.
That was an immediate Thresh pickup.
Yeah, that's not honestly something I'd expect to see first pick on blue side.
Yeah. I'm wondering if there's a big idea behind the Thresh pick, because I don't think he's necessarily a super hotly contested pick here. I don't know, PTP just taking their time to decide what to pick here.
I know Thresh is the strongest support in the game in solo queue right now. He is really strong in team play too, but you have to make sure your enemy team doesn't counter that. And I think it's not a counter per se. I think Seraphine, though, is a very good choice.
Yeah, I was going to say, I disagree that Thresh is the strongest solo queue support because Seraphine exists.
I think he has the highest win rate, is what it was.
Yeah, probably highest win rate, just because Thresh is good at, doing stuff on his own. But,
yeah.
Seraphine as a champion, ridiculously good. Now, Thresh, Jinx, Skarner, so we already know that Sword just want to scale up. Because you've already got Thresh and Jinx. Those are two champions that are strong laners, and they're good at staying alive. Skarner being picked up means that if PTP are drafting a single damage composition, Skarner is just going to shut that immediately down, unless PTP pay the Skarner tax. 1,300 gold, down the drain, but that QSS is going to be sitting right there.
Oh boy, we get to see a Xin Zhao.
I got some fun picks today, huh?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. So, for those not aware who haven't really played him that much, I know he doesn't get seen all the time. He did get lightly reworked recently. His W range is really long now, to the point you can stand in the river bush, like the one to mid lane, and poke raptors from there, and then jump to them. So you can go pretty far with that thing. Especially because it procs for his E for a jump range. So that'll be really exciting to see how that's utilized in this composition.
Mm-hmm. Is Pure Llama an Illaoi player?
Pure Llama, I have seen him I think once or twice on the Illaoi, but it's not I'd say a major pick for him, but I know it is something I think he's a little bit more comfortable on.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like the Illaoi ban is probably just going to be if King Gator doesn't want to play into it, that's fine if you already know that Pure Llama plays it. But I feel like Sword don't really want to draft any hard engage that would get countered by the Illaoi.
I think they're looking for another Juggernaut, because I feel like Illaoi is weird, and I feel like she's a Juggernaut that counters other Juggernauts because she wants them on top of her, so she just keeps slapping them. Mm-hmm. So I would expect we might actually see the set this game finally. It could be a Darius. I know he's been pretty. He's been getting up there in play rates recently. Mm-hmm. Could even be something like the Garen. I don't know, but I would expect to see a Juggernaut coming out from them.
That is a Scion. I do honestly from Sword. I want to see Ornn Orianna. I feel like with Jinx alone, that's fine for damage, but that's going to really hinge on whether or not you can trust your AD carry to be a source of damage. And we'll just have to see. We know that they've had some solid Tristana games, which is why the Tristana got banned out. We'll have to see whether or not the Jinx is going to work the same. There is absolutely no way that they're picking a Victor top.
If it was a, that would be funny. They are hovering they are hovering all over the place. It'd be cool if it was a Bard top. I haven't seen that much, but it looks like, ooh, they have stopped. It is the Darius top, so it is a Juggernaut. That was why they banned the Alawi. Something that he does not do very well into, especially in the post-6 phase. So that will be really interesting to see.
Yeah, and this is going to hinge on Pure Llama not getting behind King Gator. Because the moment that Darius has priority, all of a sudden you forfeit your top jungle. Because Darius and Skarner are just going to walk right in and take it all.
Yeah, and
oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, PTP have a pretty scary, 5v5 comp. I'm not too sure if I would... I think I would rather have, Kaisa or something other than the Ezreal. But that's a really strong amount of 5v5.
Yeah. These are really good fighting comps, honestly. I'm excited to see how they develop into the late game. The Jinx have really good hyper carry, but Xin Zhao really good at getting onto a target and separating them. You won't be able to hit him outside of it from his ultimate. So if he gets on top of that Jinx is almost guaranteed dead. And with Ori, you have a Jhin and a Sion. There's two targets right there that can get that ball right in. Or if you really want to be tricky, and I don't think they would do this, but I would love to watch Vanel try it, is grab a Locket and then E in with the Ori ball and just immediately go into Locket as it ults.
Oh boy.
But looking at these, who do you give the game to right now?
Honestly, I don't know, because the thing is, Sword's team composition feels a little bit all over the place. If they want to just go for skirmishes, that's fine. But then you have Jinx, who just wants to front to back 5v5. Meanwhile, PTP, they have a great team for 5v5s, but then you have Ezreal, who kind of wants to just skirmish. So if you swap around the AD carries, then you have really, really solid team comps on both sides. Otherwise, I think I would have to give the edge to PTP's comp. Because Ezreal can still do stuff in the 5v5, just prefer skirmishing.
Yeah, I think I would give it to them too. I am a big fan of the Xin Zhao and the Seraphines. I'm a little biased, but we'll have to see if they can do it. If they can finally get their first win on the board as we get on into this game. Last game of the day, Sword versus PTP. Can PTP get their first win, or will Sword keep their return on wins finally going, finally get themselves clawing back up those standings?
All right, now we'll see. Technically, usually you want to see a 5-point spread. But when it comes to Skarner, yeah, we're gonna be seeing some early fighting over those spires there. Sword seems like they're just gonna be giving up the bot lane spire, but they're gonna take the top one just fine.
Yeah, and Graviel takes a bit from that. It's just gonna walk out. Thankfully, doesn't die. So good catch on that. Good escape from the invade. Pure Llama doing a really good job moving forward. And wait, am I reading that right? Is Vanel the top laner?
Huh.
It's Vanel on a Scion, Rat's in the AD carry, and Llama is in mid. I'm kind of surprised they didn't swap anybody out, did they? As far as I'm aware, this is their starting roster.
Who knows?
I was I'm pretty sure I've seen them all. Did I miss something? And someone changed a name or something? But maybe they're trying something new. They are again 0-4. They could be looking to try and see if they can make something else work. And now I'm interested to see how Vanel does as the AD carry as the top laner for this team. Sorry, see how he does in this. And I wonder if that will catch Sword off guard. Weren't expecting these players to take these roles.
Oh, okay. So we're seeing the hook start from the Thresh. All right, early trading from Jarius here. But with the hook start from the Thresh, we're not going to have him poking with auto attacks. So, as in even if you do, the auto attacks aren't going to be as strong. And I don't think that Jinx really has that level 1 pressure to really justify going for hook level 1.
Yeah, but on the top side, though, we do see, Darius is a very strong early game champion. He can kind of keep the Sion in check. Sion, he wants to get those Qs off and try to be close, but you can't really do that when it's a Darius. He's going to keep getting stacks off as he does get pulled in. Vanel having to run away burns his shield. He is going to keep burning from that. He's getting really low. He's got to be careful. Gator does have the flash. He's also got Ghost, too, so he will not be able to match any cross-map plays.
And Skarner, being Skarner, is already outpacing the Shinzao. He's going to have top lane pressure, so we'll see if Skarner does anything with it.
Yeah, Skarner, like, his ganks are strongest at 6, but the E does help a little bit. We'll have to see if he can find anything, as Rat does get flayed back, but he's going to get out of there with his E. Everything is fine. Something I was thinking about in this also, too, is this power of the Seraphine, they get into a late game situation. Even if Gator is trying to run at them with Ghost or Skarner too, that's just a free springboard for the Seraphine to get an ult off and spring it back into the rest of their team. And if you catch a nice 4 or 5 man Seraphine ult, you can do quite a bit of work in this composition. So I feel like Sword has to be really cognitive of that and understand later on in these team fights, okay, you have to spread out a bit or else you will get 5-man CC'd.
But yeah, a lot of this is going to hinge on Gator getting a lead and making use of that lead in the top lane. So that way, Jinx is allowed to free fire through strong aggro tanking from Gator. Thankfully, Darius is by far the most commonly complained about champion if you don't play top lane.
Yep. Whenever I go top, hate having a Darius. It's probably my second least favorite top laner to deal with after Alawi, which I'm also glad to see banned. Don't like watching that. But yeah, that's you saw that up there. He did get his stacks full off. For those that don't know, Darius's 5 stack allows him to get a bonus amp on his damage. Graviel's looking around. He's trying to dissuade Gator, but he does reveal himself. So the Skarner immediately going bottom side, looking for something right here. Gator, though, still doing some work up in that top lane. He thinks that he can take a 1v2, but it's just going to back off. Graviel realizing maybe not the best time to go in. It's going to go back to jungle clearing. Is Llama getting a lot onto Jovichu? Yeah, he keeps going. Jovi.
Oh, wait, what?
First blood going over to Llama. Jovichu just walks it forward and lets him take it.
That was Llama did a really good trade there. I think Jovi was expecting the Q to come up for the shield to try to trade things back. But Llama just coming right on top of that trade.
Yeah, I think you need to back up in that case. You don't want to, if the Q is going to come back up, yes, but why not just guarantee it? Step a little bit further back out of the attack range, wait for it to come up, and then walk in. Maybe just thought the ball, I guess, might have not been coming up fast enough, but unfortunate moment for him right there. But he's not going to lose much. He does teleport back into the lane, but that will be down for the next possible fight if there's a fight going anywhere on the bottom or top side that he's needed.
Yeah, an important point. Important point is since King Gator didn't take TP, they're always going to have a TP advantage in top lane. Now they force the Darius to take the Scion to TP early.
Out here, Rat gets out away from the flay. Jovichu walking forward. He is got to be careful though. Graviel looking for something right here. He's going to try to go in. He doesn't get it. He is going to go down. And now the fight breaks out. XCam getting pretty low right there. Rat trying to get out. They do grab one. Karis grabs the kill onto XCam. They're chasing forward. The Seraphine gets away from the hook. And they didn't get the dragon, but they at least picked up a little consolation prize for themselves.
But yeah, one of the big things I was trying to say earlier is just that because Darius doesn't have TP, when Scion has TP, they can force TP plays, and especially because Victor doesn't have TP currently, they already have the TP advantage in mid lane. So if they force something bot lane, only one other person can join.
Yeah, and that's the duty of Gator this game, I feel. It's to keep the Scion having to use that teleport to constantly get back in lane, constantly pressuring him out of lane so that when his teleport does come back up, he has to teleport to get that farm or else he'll fall even further behind and prevent those cross-map plays. And I feel like so far he's doing a pretty good job of it. Up almost twice the CS right now. Actually, yeah, exactly twice the CS of Vanal. GOP2 taking a little bit more right there. And now Gator, he's looking. Nah, he's just going to get away from that. The E is a good dissuader from the Scion. It's going to slow. It's going to prevent the Darius from getting that close range he wants. But you still got to be careful. You can't let the Darius get onto you, especially now that he's 6. He will look for the kills. And ooh, Thresh hook goes wide. And the Jinx shot does not. I will say, though, poking not the best thing you can do against Seraphine lane. That W comes up really fast. And ooh, we do see a sneaky play up here. Graviel is looking to possibly grab something. Gator going forward with the Ghost. He's looking to grab it. Here comes the Skarner, though. They're trying to grab it as quick as they can. Going in, the flash from Gator. The Skarner has been revealed. Skarner, I choose you. Time to run forward. Vanos is going to walk out. Graviel's going to walk away. And that fight doesn't get much out of it, but Llama's here too. They're looking for X-Cam, gonna slow him down. Graviel looking for anything, dashes right onto him to get the slow. He is gonna get ulted back away. He's not getting onto the blast plant. Vanel's gonna grab the kill.
Oh boy.
Fresh is here, grabs the hook, but they're not gonna get anything out of that. Now the Victor goes over the wall as a new challenger approaches, but you don't want to challenge the Jin Zhao.
It was such a good roam from Llama there. Like, making use of the early mid priority. And Cam never ended up getting to ulti with Skarner there, unfortunately.
Yeah, and while the Jinx does get a little bit of XP, does hit level 6 first, the rocket does go wide. Not going to hit anybody with that. Not sure really where that rocket was aimed at, but it does mean that the Thresh is going to be down a little bit. I mean, he is going to get a bit of time since they backed, but unfortunately, the Roam not getting much out of it. Now, if you're looking on the side of, we'll start with Sword. If you're Sword, what do you think the game plan is early on right now? We're only 9.5 minutes into the game. They've got a dragon already. They're down 2 kills, but they're dead even in gold. Where are you looking to make plays? What is the plan right now?
Like, right now, especially because, like, once again, Sword are running Darius without TP. You have to make sure that Darius does get ahead. He's going to be pushing up a decent bit. I think at this point, you just want to start going for like lane ganks or making use of the priority that the Darius has. Like, if Darius is going to be pushing up, you want to make sure that you can use that and get into the enemy jungle and invade. Because Darius is going to be there first, and you guys can probably win the 2v2.
Oh, a fight going out here. Llama is possibly going to get caught. He flashes to get to safety. Can't let the hook or the Skarner ult land on him. And the 3-man gank, gets the flash out. They might see a return one shortly. But now they're going straight for that Herald. And actually, no, I take that back. They're going straight top. They're looking to grab this Scion now. Fresh. Coming up around the side, looking for Scion. The hook comes in from Gator. They hook onto Vanel too. He gets flayed back. The ult coming through. He's not going to be able to get out, and he's just going to get dunked to death. America runs on Duncan, and so does Darius and Sword. So he grabs himself the first kill of the game for himself.
And like I said, that Darius needs to be ahead. They can get the Herald off of this, pump that gold into Darius. Jinx is always going to be outputting damage. We already know that she's got like the early kill. She's getting experience. She's going to be denied some farm here. But hopefully they can make use of that Herald and get the top tower before they can get any major damage down here.
Yeah, and I like that, though, from PTP. They see the play happening mid. They see it suddenly go top side when they see the Thresh run across the lane and go, hey, let's just go down bottom. Let's get a couple plays. Let's just try to make something out of this. And now, with Skarner still on the top side of the map, I think they saw him walk through the bush. They're going to go for this Cloud Drake. So it's going to be Mountain or Infernal this game. I think Mountain is more of what the side of Sword wants, and it is going to be Infernal. I think both teams do like Infernal, but I guess if you're PTP, you don't really want Mountain as much. Shields are nice, but not really much tank stats you can get out of them. And now we're seeing it's just kind of going back to a fairly calm state. I expect to see this for a couple minutes now after all the wildness of the last couple. But now I've asked you what Sword should be doing at this point, and you saw they did make the pressure with the Darius work out. If you're PTP, what is your goal right now at this point? And actually, hang on. I think that we're have to wait on that. Pure Llama is getting engaged on. X-Cam is going to grab him. Jovi2 is going to grab a kill right there. Nice play in the mid lane. And it pays off. The return gank does pay off.
Yeah, Pure Llama still doesn't have flash, and like if you come in there with a flash on Thresh, flash on Skarner, flash on Victor, like you have 3 things to pressure it. And Oh my god,
another-
Thresh is just everywhere today.
Yeah, Thresh just roaming around, gets a hook onto Vanel. Vanel just trying to get the Q to get some hits there. Gator is on the go, so he's just trying to distract him, but here comes the teleport. Llama is here to try to help, but it's not going to matter. The dunk comes through again. Playing some basketball right here. Space Jam time. Darius with 2 kills on the board. And now the stun up onto the Llama. They are trying to push us down pretty hard. I'm not sure if they're going to try to contest it or not. But, ooh, the Oriole forces the flash out of the Thresh.
Mm-hmm. And, like, at this point, we know that the Thresh is unlocked. They're going all the way across the map, making plays. We're not going to ever see the same kind of effectiveness out of a Seraphine roam. So we need them to just slam bot lane and get their advantages back through there. Seraphine roaming to match a Thresh is never going to work.
Yeah, Seraphine's strength is never in the ganks. I mean, well, you can get a slow if you don't really have... you really only have 2 forms of CC, and you really don't want to waste the ult on one person, especially because it's super telegraphed. But if you like you said, slam this bot lane, get to the team fights, get the Seraphine with the Moonstone, so she's just constantly healing her team, and get those beautiful team fight ults off. That's the way to go in this game. If you're PTP, that's where you need to find it. But right now, they're just kind of being kept in these lanes. See if they break this tower, though, to try to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, a big thing here, right, is that if the Jinx is behind, and if the Victor is behind, then Darius being ahead doesn't mean as much, because they can just focus on the Darius, and the backline's damage isn't going to be that big of a deal. And we already know Darius is ahead. Like, we accepted that. I think at this point, you just make sure that their backliners don't do anything, so him aggro tanking doesn't make that much of a problem.
Graviel gets hooked. He is going to get flayed too. Gets the ult to get out of there, going right onto the Thresh. That's the mistake of hooking onto a Jin Zhao. He's just going to push everyone away from him for those kills. But the Herald's going to go down. I think it's going to get the turret at this point. But still a good counter on that play coming out from PTP. And now the Seraphine is here, looking to maybe make a play, see if they can catch anyone. But King Gator and Triple X Cam are going to leave, and they're just going to reset the map at this point.
Oh! Just barely.
Ooh. Llama, you're playing with fire, man. You're playing with fire in this Victor right now. But here's Carrots. You know, he can get the heal off still with the enhanced W. Power of song and friendship, you know, it heals all wounds. it's like an anime with Seraphine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna back up. Jovichu looking like he wants something here. The Thresh is here. They do spot him out this time. Now they have to be on the lookout too. Vanel has roamed down. So far, I want to know what you're thinking. Do you think the Jin Zhao has been worth it so far for PTP?
I don't know, because, like, Jin Zhao is supposed to be, like, the early aggression jungler. Like, one of the early aggression junglers. And, like, in terms of, like, late, I'm not sure if Jin's going to be able to put out enough damage to really threaten the backline. But the Eclipse tells me that they certainly want to make that happen. But yeah, I feel like at this point, your window for making the 2v2 for punishing bot lane for not being 2v2 has passed. And they're only down 2k gold, but I would love to see PTP just goon squads people. Because, like, you can get some vision on the map, you can get some gold back, instead of just passively wait for death.
Yeah, I feel like you said, the Jinx should have been an easy target this entire time. Kind of sad that PTP didn't go for it. But, ooh, Llama flash out. He is going to get ulted. The hook going to go wide. It doesn't matter, though. Llama is going to get taken down. Almost takes Jovichu with him. And now it's just Graviel and Carrots versus 2. The Ezreal comes through. It does hit the Thresh. Jinx is here, too. That's the call to go to the Dragon right now. Sion is looking to try to find this TP as we go right back in the fight. See what happened here to Llama.
Mm-hmm. And, like, this is what we said earlier. Sword's team is really well suited for small skirmishing. And every time that they have flash ulti up, that's a free kill in mid.
Yeah, and you know, you can flash away from the Victor W, but there's only so many things to get away from a Thresh hook, flash ult from the Skarner, the W from the Victor. There's just too much to deal with. And it's hurting right now for PTP. It's hurting a lot for Llama. It's just constantly being punished. This dragon is the name of the game right now. Darius can't match it. Sion has just roamed down. He's not going to try to use the teleport. He's going to try to save that for the turret. But it is going to be a 4v4 here. Darius will not be able to contest. The ult goes through. They do hit the Thresh. He is going to go down. Rat grabs himself a kill. Not getting anything else off of that. But it looks...
Darius is top.
Yeah, he's still top. He's not on the turret quite yet. They're looking for something right here with the Victor W. It's not going to... Oh my god! The Jinx steals it. How did she steal that? Let me see this.
I'm pretty sure that was a W at 4%. Like at 4 health.
I didn't even see it. It was hidden through the Victor. Yeah, it's hidden in the Victor E. Oh, PTP. That's got to be a little bit of a tilter right there. You think you've gotten the objective. You've made all this pressure in for it, all this resources into it. But gets stolen at the last second by an 80 carry.
Yeah, that's rough. But yeah, like right now, if the game keeps on going as it's been going, it's going to be really hard for PTP to get to the point where they're allowed to 5v5, because right now it's just going to be Crab running around the map and just getting kills over and over again.
Graviel flashes the W. The Jinx flash goes in too. He's looking for something, trying to get the third hit, and he is going to get in. He's just going to walk away. Ooh, gets another W out. You got to be careful, Fix. You don't want to get hit with that root. Oh, the ult comes through. Fix isn't going to take much off of that, but it's enough to stop the back, delay it. And they're going to grab their first turret of the game on the bottom side. Meanwhile, on the top side, XCam and Gator going to get this Herald. Probably going to try to pressure it on the mid lane, try to crack that turret open finally. And no one on PTP is any the wiser. No vision around for them right now. But a good play on the bot side.
Mm-hmm. And they just need to get the standing gold, not fall too far behind. I feel like they just want to be on the same page for these skirmishes, though. Like, yeah. We already know that Swords have a better skirmishing team comp, but that's definitely not to say that they can't make it happen, because you got Orianna with Jin Zhao, so just have Jin Zhao E in, or ulti, make some plays happen on the map.
Yeah, get a couple things going, look for those fights. We did see Ori earlier when she did die. She did do quite a bit to Jovichu. She is getting a lot of damage out onto him right now. She's actually ahead in items, surprisingly, considering all the pressure she's gotten. And I think Llama can still be a very big threat in this game. I think they didn't shut him down enough. And ooh, Graviel, he is going to get hooked. Not going to grab anything off that. He does have to burn the ult just to make sure that they don't trap him with anything. No one tries to contain him. The ult goes from Seraphine. It's going to miss. Now goes the Sion ult. That's going to miss too. And now they're trying to get something going here. Trying to make up for all these ults going down. The knock up onto the Skarner. They're going to root him in place. He's getting super low. He's going to go down. Rat's going to grab. But here comes the ult from the Victor. It is chasing onto Graviel. It's chasing on the Veil. They're going right on to the Victor. He is going to grab Graviel, though. The hook going through towards Rat. It's going to miss. Jovichu gets out with the skin of his teeth from that fight. A 1-for-1 trade, but the turret goes down topside to Gator, and it's going to be in their favor.
Mm-hmm. And like PTP, they finally got themselves a 5v5 fight. Well, a 5v4. They missed the really important ultimates, unfortunately. But we can see that when they are in those teamfight scenarios, they can put out damage. It's just that right now, they're behind items, they're behind gold, and it's going to be hard until they scale up a bit. Once Ezreal can get their hands on Muramana, they're going to be putting out like some real damage. When Sion gets their second item, they're going to start being ridiculously hard to kill. And it's difficult, but you have to make something happen right now from the side of PTP.
Yeah, you've got to find plays. That was a good attempt. They did find a play. Does cost them Graviel, but still, you grab the Skarner, you get some nice gold in it. Unfortunately, he isn't really worth super a lot right now. He is 1-3. Got to try to find those kills onto the Victor and onto the Darius. They do have those sweet, delicious bounties on their heads.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, during that was a 4v5. Darius was still splitting in top lane. So I can only imagine how much more difficult it's going to be when Darius starts joining these fights. But for now, I think they want to play around Jin Zhao and Orianna and just like E onto some poor unsuspecting person and just end it like that.
Yeah, and if I'm Graviel, I actually think you just take if you get hooked, you just accept it, hope that you bait them into jumping on you, and then you will force them to be separate from their allies and then just quickly pick off the Thresh. I think ulting just to get away from damage when there isn't, like, there's some poke on the side. There's Jovichu and there's the Jinx W, but they're not going to kill the Jin Zhao right away with that. They're not going to just blow him up. Might as well just bait the enemy into a trap, try to pick off a target. I think that's a good way to go about it. Or again, like you said, Ori Jin Zhao combo is pretty nasty. You get right on the target, you get a free ult. If you ult 5 people as the Jin, as the Ori ults, you knock them slightly back for some damage and pull them all right back in. Could be pretty good, as the ult has to be burned from Graviel right there. Teleport coming in from Jovichu. It's the call towards the dragon. 7 seconds on the board. PTP is going to try to contest as they don't want to put themselves on soul point right now. Dragon is going to be started up now. I take that back. Rat trying to poke out right there. He has to use his E. And now it's the game of Sion going in, looking for something right there. The Ori ball comes in. Beautiful with also the Seraphine ult. They grab 2. King Gator goes down. They take down the Thresh 2. They do grab the dragon on the side of Sword, but they're getting low. Ooh, they grab 1 onto the Jin Zhao. They're looking for Vayne ult 2. This Jinx is getting really excited. They're trying to grab 3. Rat getting very low right now, but this... Oh, Sion almost gets the kill, but the rocket coming through. Yeah, that triple.
That rocket was so important, because if she misses that rocket, she doesn't get excited, she doesn't get away, and she just dies there. That was really risky, but it did pay off. And as we can see, PTP, when they get those 5v5 ultis in, they can do a lot of damage, but it's still so hard because they're behind a decent bit of gold.
Yeah, they grab the kill right here onto Gator. It's still a big play, but Jovichu and Fix are just sitting there on the back line. They're just getting poke off over the wall. No one can get to them. And they take down Vayne ult. Fix, got a little too excited right there, but the rocket saving his life is always something you want to see. It's smart play going forward like that to try to chase down kills, to try to then snowball yourself. That's what they were looking for right there. And now Soul Point is up in 4.5 minutes. It's going to be do or die right there for PTP. I feel like if they lose that dragon, it's not going to be fun in a fight. I don't know if they'll be able to come back from it at that point.
Yeah, they did get the shutdown from the Darius over, but they don't have the shutdown on the Jinx. One big thing, though, is Darius now has access to Black Cleaver, and that's going to turn Vayne ult's job of frontlining into a living hell as the armor gets shredded from the bleed stacks.
That is true, but I mean, if it's a fight like that last one, Darius doesn't even get to get any of those bleeds out.
Like they need another one of those miracle fights. I think that if Rat had committed to the fight instead of ulting towards the dragon, maybe they might be able to get a little bit more done. But that's just a matter of putting everyone on the same page again.
Yeah, and they can. I'm sure they'll figure that out. But, also looking at Gator, he is going a very there's health and he's got the plated boots, but for the most part, it's a pretty AD heavy build. It's not something that can really absorb a lot of damage. He'll get poked out pretty easily in a fight or blown up pretty quickly. So. He's got to be really careful on the front line. Right now, it's the Skarner playing the game of the frontline tank, but now it's also going to be the Engage right there. They are looking for Fix. They don't see the Skarner coming behind. The Rat's going forward. He's trying to grab a kill right there. The ult coming through. It's going to miss the Jinx, and they're going to stun up Carrots. Carrots gets the ult, but the explosion from Fix with the rocket is going to get him on a rampage. And now Rat's trying to run. The E goes wide, looking for something. Actually, it does hit him. He's going to E over the wall, and now Jovichu is on the hunt. He smells blood in the water, but Rat's going to get right out there.
Just going to hop on over.
Indeed he is. There should be a bunny skin for Ezreal. Like Easter Bunny Ezreal. Just him, and his E is just he hops. He just hops over the wall. There's a couple champions that way. Zach might be good too. That's a really rubbery.
We know Fizz has already got one.
Yeah, that's true. Not the same kind of hop, though. I get the bunny hops.
So we got Fizz, we got Cottontail Teemo.
all the bunny skins.
Why does Tristana not have one?
That's a good point. Then again, why do a lot of champions not have Dunk Master yet? Where is the Dunk Master Alawi in the Garen?
Fair enough.
But
Garen might not, just because it's supposed to be a counterpart to Darius, but who knows?
Yeah, got to make the counter team. What is it? The Jam Squad. We have the Jam Squad.
The Monstars versus the Jam Squad.
Good old Space Jam. But that was unfortunate for PTP. They were definitely trying to get fixed, but they got too focused on it. They didn't have the vision prepared on the top side, and the Skarner comes through, but they still almost grabbed fix in that fight. It was still pretty close.
One important point, though. It is 26 minutes in. Ezreal has not paid the Skarner tax. And we're going to see whether Skarner has Flash. We're going to see if that's going to bite him in the butt, or if that's just going to end up going unpunished.
It's a suppress, right? So it's not cleansed?
Yeah, you can't cleanse it. You have to QSS.
Okay, the cleanse seems like an odd pick. It might be more for the Darius or the Thresh hooks, but I agree. We'll have to see, but I know it is important to grab the Mana Mune to get that Mura Mana online. And
yeah, I'm fine with that. I feel like going into double longsword so you can get your mythic afterwards is... actually, no, he's gone Triforce. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the double longsword here. I feel like at this point, you understand you're against a Skarner, you're behind, you pay the Skarner tax.
Maybe just trying to get some armor pen fight. He has been pretty untouched by this Skarner. Skarner's been really more going for Graviel and Pure Llama in it. As Jovichu disconnects right now, we'll have to see if a pause comes out. Nope, he does come right back. It's all the it's all the internet troubles today. We had a little bit of issue here today too. I think it was the dust storms. Very, very dusty today. Very, very hard to see anywhere. But I mean, that's what I get for living in a desert, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Now the dragon is going to be started up. Ooh, they look like they have the inside track, but the rest of Sword is here.
Sion does have Thornmail completed, but he does have TP available.
He is going to TP into this fight from the back right there. Hasn't ulted yet. They are jockeying for this fight. No one's gone for the flank yet on the side of PTP, on the side of Sword. Nothing's going forward. They're going forward right now, though. Here comes the Seraphine ult. It hits only one, though. Gator getting low. Llama grabs one kill. Now they're looking to grab the second. But here goes a kill and Soul over to Sword. And now Carrots and Pure are all that's left with Vanal. They're trying to get away. Rat had gotten down earlier in that fight. Carrot trying to run away. He's got his little shield up. He's going to get slowed to get flashed forward. Going to get hit by the E from Jovichu. He's going to go down. And now they continue pushing forward. 3-4-2 in the favor of Sword. They get the Dragon Soul. They are infernal powered. And now they're heading right on over to this Baron.
Yeah, it's gotten late enough into the game that, like, if Jinx is allowed a free hit, she can absolutely just do that damage. So these 5v5s are going to be harder and harder for PTP to bring back. And that Infernal Soul is going to make this from difficult to near impossibility.
Yeah, and Sword, like they got past the Seraphine ult. This kept going. Only one person got hit by Seraphine ult, but they also got past Vanal too. Wasn't able to really do much in that fight. Wasn't able to really buy the space his team needed, and it cost them pretty dearly. Carrot's just getting run down by Gator. Gator just not even caring with that ghost. And now 5,000 gold down. For Soul already over to Sword. PTP is looking pretty dire right now. They have the Baron against them as well. They're going to have to try to hold out this siege and see if they can find a miracle fight.
Yeah, I'm guessing what Ezreal's going for right now is Esmeralda's Grudge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we're seeing here. Which is going to give more time for them to kite back. Gonna keep the enemy team from just getting right on top of them, and if they get ahead, they can chase them down from running away. But at the same time, once Skarner has flash up, not paying the Skarner tax is always risky.
Yeah, and there you go. Speak of the devil, Rat gets eat over the wall. Jovichu kills him with the Q as he goes over the wall and goes on a killing spree as the bottom inner turret goes down at the same time. And now a 4-1 situation. Gator pushing down this turret too. It's just Llama here to deal with them. Doesn't have any MR, but does he really need it as he goes forward with the Stride Breaker onto Llama. Llama gets the ult, but it's going to be a dunk. That's one kill. Now Gator is getting hungry for more. Goes towards Graviel. He is getting very low though. Is he going to go down? He is. Carrot's going to grab the kill for himself. And now it's going to be Triple X looking for something. They grab Vanal. Vanal is going to go down. Jovichu goes on a rampage. Carrot's getting low. Graviel low too. The slow coming out. Jovichu looking for one. He gets a double kill. Make that. Is it the triple? Nope. Cam's going to grab it for himself. And Ace going over to Sword, and I think that's going to be the game. I think they're going to try to push this. It's just Rat against the world. The man who started that whole fight off, guy has to hold on against 4, and he's getting blown up pretty quickly. Oh, he is getting driven too low. He does take him. The 1v1 gets the shutdown, but it's going to be his life for it. A second ace coming out, and that's going to be the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Sword continues their run back towards the pack and takes the win against PTP.
And like at that point, you know, you understand you lost. Rat does get the 1v1 though, so you just pop in a hashtag worth in the chat. GG's, move on to the next one.
Yeah, and that was a good 1v1 there, but literally the moment you said it, the Skarner tax was not paid, and Rat paid the price, not only with his life, but his teams and their Nexus.
Yeah, there are 2 things in life that are inevitable: death and taxes. And if you don't pay Skarner his taxes, death is very inevitable.
That's true, and I mean, I think that latter depends on where you live. But looking back into the game, looking at this damage on this Victor, absolutely insane. We thought that Darius was going to be pretty big in this. You know, he gets all the stacks, becomes a beast in the front line. But Jovichu hitting E after E, getting those beautiful ults, it just worked out so well in his team's favor.
Now, the big thing about Darius isn't how much damage he can put out, but just making sure that he can put out enough damage that the enemy team can't ignore him. And once they can't ignore him, his carries are allowed to free hit as much as they want. And you can see right here, they can put out some damage.
Yes, they can. And with a Skarner too, that is such a strong front line. It's so hard to deal with, especially like you said, you don't have the Quicksilver. You're not gonna get away from that Skarner. You have to play even further back, separating your lines even further, allowing those carries to just get even more. And look, Skarner doing the most damage to the objective kind of surprised me. I thought that would be Jinx, but he's almost got 2.5 times her damage output, so that's kind of impressive.
Now, remember, Jinx was left alone a lot in the early game for the 1v2, so it makes a bit more sense, because I think Herald also counts as whoever picked it up's damage.
Oh, that's fair, yeah. So, and then also taking the Herald and the Dragon, so that makes sense. But still, did the middling on the ground of the turrets. Good amount of power coming out from her. Good play all around from the side of Sword. And PTP, their slump continues, and we just got to ask, are they going to find a win tomorrow, you think?
Now, I don't dislike the draft from PTP. I do think that they wanted a harder carry style AD carry, like, you know, Tristana or something along those lines. I think that once they saw the Thresh roaming, they needed to just slam the 2v1 in bot lane. But we're getting some good ideas out from PTP. A lot of this is just coming down to reacting to what exactly happens, and, you know, individual skill at some points. We saw that Rat was actually doing pretty decent on the Ezreal. Vanal was playing into Darius, which is always rough if you're not familiar with the matchup. So it's just a matter of figuring out what it is you need to play around and doing it proactively, not reactively.
Yeah, and, you know, like, there's still some time to figure it out. And like you said, we saw the potential there. We saw little moments of brilliance where we saw those 5v5s looked like they were to get something, but it just came a little too late, unfortunately, for PTP. And, you know, tomorrow they take on Spear. Spear does have their first win. They got their first win today, but this is still 2 teams fighting to start climbing up the ladder. And I'm interested who you think, based on what you've seen so far from these teams, who do you think would you favor tomorrow for that game?
Honestly, I probably would still favor Spear. Though I do think that PTP are showing signs of life. With the roster swap, we get to see, like, okay, well, you know, these players are willing to try to change things up, to try to find something that will work. So they're actively looking, you know, and that team composition, not necessarily bad. The Darius was a really good pick into it, and they just needed to play around that pick. And I think what they just need to do, they need to figure out their game plan before the game starts and focus on executing that. And once they have that down, then they need to learn how to then they need to learn how to start doing things on the fly. Because they had a good idea with the team composition. They just needed to execute on their game plan.
Yeah, let's see. Let's hope they can grab their first win. We'll see if they can grab their first win tomorrow. But that does it from us here at the caster desk. Don't go anywhere. An interview with Ollie is coming up right after this.
Hello, folks. Chris Edgeworth here for the final interview of today. I'm joined by Ollie from Team Sword. How are you doing after that win?
Well, I'm feeling fantastic. How about you, Chris?
I couldn't be better. I mean, these are a bunch of bangers today. Jinx is back with a vengeance, it seems, in the draft here. You guys come in with the Jinx comp, but also they get you the blue side first pick for Thresh. Talk to me about this draft plan and especially your role in it.
Well, the draft for us was something that didn't require a lot of thinking because we had already played it once in scrims actually against Team Spear. So we kind of knew what we wanted to execute, and we knew that we wanted to go for a nice front-to-back kind of team fight comp centered around Jinx, of course. And the reason we decided to, of course, blue one Thresh is because he's very strong in the meta right now, doesn't have a lot of terrible matchups, and once we ban out the Morgana, we knew it was safe to pick that right away.
Right on. Well, it was obviously executed to great effect. I mean, you're an absolute roaming madman this game. Working together with XCAM, how was this jungle synergy, and how did it turn into this overall win?
I mean, as far as Cam goes, obviously he's a great player and contributed a lot to the victory. I haven't played too many games with him since he is a new addition to our team, but we're definitely working on building that synergy, and I think it really paid off all our practice in this game because, you know, you saw him and I roaming top, roaming mid, trying to get Darius ahead, trying to get Victor ahead and looking for plays. So I definitely think having that jungle and support synergy there is part of what makes us a great team.